But instead in this deck, so with Imskir, this is, affinity for artifacts, black, red, 5/5, enters, draw X and lose X, where X is the number of artifacts you control rounded down, or half the number rounded down. And then for 4 mana, you can sack an artifact and deal damage to any target equal to its mana value. So sacking a Thought Monitor deals 7, sacking Kappa Cannoneer to 6. So sometimes you'll be able to go attack with Cannoneer, play Imskir, sack it, kill them. So this is a more aggressive build. Gets to play some extra interaction with Metallic Rebuke. I also really think Refurbished Familiar is quite good. 4 mana affinity. When it enters, each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, you draw a card. This is a card I like a lot. So, certainly a lot more aggressive than the Urza build we've been playing. I do still like the Urza build, but I'm really interested in playing these 2 cards specifically. I feel like I just never see them in there. They seem quite strong. Last seen 8 days ago. Might be playing something else. Energy matchup's probably fine. Let's click the keep button here. Too bad this is a swamp and not a Mox. Wasn't sure on the basic of type to play this or island. It's just awkward the island doesn't cast Imskir. However you say that card. If I had to bet, do you think Birthing Pod gets unbanned this year? No bets. No bets. It would be pretty safe to unban, in my opinion, but yeah, it's just not good to if only just to pine and to wish that Wizards would do something, because they'll just do whatever they want whenever they want, as always. I think we play Saga turn 1 here. Alright, so taking 1, they make another cat. Would have been nice to win the die roll, I guess. Yeah, we just had a lot of sick unbans. We just need to be enjoying this for now and continue to be focused on this. Not a bad one to discard. But I'm going to be going for Kappa Cannoneer plus Shadowspear, and that is pretty good against them. They have a second Ajani. Not today, Guide of Souls. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. So equipping on the Shadowspear on the Familiar this turn would let me kill the Ajani. Unless they plus. They should probably plus. I guess they would maybe want a minus for the extra Kitty Blessing triggers. Yeah. All right, let's see what we draw. We're kind of locked in on getting Shadowspear. Yeah, I don't really think that's changed. Well, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 5, 6. I'm just trying to think, is it ever better for me to Thought Monitor first? So Thought Monitor would cost 2 mana. I could go cast it like this, and then I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I'd have to tap the drum for blue. So if this was an island, we'd be in better shape. I think we are just dead to the Ajani plus. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I should have gone Thought Monitor, equipped the Refurbished Familiar. I think if we're on the play, we're also in good shape this game. So down a game against Affinity. Don't have a lot in the way of sideboard for this matchup at the moment. We have the Nihil Spellbomb in the main deck for the Flage. I don't think we necessarily want Needle for like flip to Johnny / bombardment, but it could be something to do. I think we'll play like a Welding Jar over Boots. Click submit. Click submit. No, I'm flying into Atlanta this afternoon. Yeah, maybe we should have some whip flares. I just kind of think this matchup is usually pretty fine. Losing game 1 is not great. This hand is awesome though. Turn 1 Refurbished Familiar. This not quite turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer. Why? What basic swamp when your deck is more blue, black, or red? Well, I just don't like that to have a land that doesn't cast my black red card, you know. But yeah, maybe Island is just better. Would have been a lot better that game. Okay, they discard a Spyro. Okay. So we can Kappa Cannoneer next turn. Again with the familiar. Have I put any thought into Glimmervoid over Spire? Yeah, Spire seems much better. You know, Glimmervoid, they might make you kill your land. Isn't that crazy? Why would they do that? Why would they put that text on the card?
Do you know if the guys are coming over tonight?
They're not. Kind of like a Needle over an Imskir? Maybe. They seem to be Boros, not Mardu, though. Which makes Imskir, I think, good. Yeah, I think I'm pretty hesitant to run a Glimmervoid. Do not think that card's very good. Like, even good to attack with the Cannoneer. They get to gain 2, make 2 tokens versus taking 6. So they take 8 down to 7, gain 2 up to 9, and then yeah, they're dead to 1 more artifact. Yeah, so I just don't know if you want Whip Flare for this matchup. Obviously it helps, but I kind of think this matchup is possibly just inherently good. So if that's the case, we can dedicate sideboard slots elsewhere. So that's why I have chosen to not dedicate Whip Flares yet. Been working on Mardu control, so I'm looting better at controlling than creativity, but more explosive starts than just got looting control. I mean, you gotta play creativity. I don't know. I guess you get to play. You get to play Flage. Maybe that's not true then. I hate Priest of Fell Rights. Would definitely not play it. But looks pretty cool overall. I would be very unlikely to register Liliana of the Veil. Okay, so now they can kill my Refurbished Familiar. Suppose it's good that they waited so I can sack the Spellbomb, draw a card. Probably dead though. Meltdown leaving your only Spire is GG anyways. Well, I mean, Meltdown isn't the only card in this format that kills artifacts. Opinion on Remand. I mean, Counterspell is feeling like not very good right now in the modern format. I certainly would not encourage anyone to register Remand at the moment. Great draw. I love Remand as a card in general. Like I've got a lot of nostalgia for Remand. Not sure if it's better to hold up Rebuke or to just play the drum out this turn. You don't need Bloodgaster White to combo kill. You don't need either? Okay, explain the combo to me. Because this is the combo, like you sack a Bloodghast, you get a land, the land enters, it untaps the white. Imskir. I still don't know how you're supposed to say this. Draw 3. Are deck techs open? No, they're not. I really don't want to be doing all these deck techs, quite honest. No donation deck techs. People just keep submitting them. I just feel bad. So if you can guilt me into your deck, and this is not an invitation to do that, but uh, I really don't want to be doing all these deck techs. I do feel like they're kind of just distracting. Secure a bounce land retreat. Okay. Okay, so it's just a different 4-card combo. Too many cards. Too many cards. So if I can draw another Mox Opal, I can throw this at my opponent with Imskir. Or however it is they intend you to say this card. This is pretty nice. Oh, sorry, I meant to attack with the Memnite. They probably do just block it with the Wall of Roots, but another misclick. Am I interested in revisiting Hardened 8 Scales that didn't officially? That's kind of on the to-do list, yeah, at some point. Just got to get around to it. I could have drummed, but I figured this would just win the game immediately, so I'm saving time by tapping Spire instead. So I have the ability to equip Shadowspear here. And then throw the Thought Monitor at my opponent for 7. Up a game against Yogg. Let's bring in the Welding Jars and the Needles. I'm going to keep in the Nihil Spellbomb. I do think Shadowspear is better than Boots. I usually like to cut some Saga targets when I bring in other better Saga targets. And then let's cut the Thoughtcast against the Bowmaster, still have Thought Monitor in. Is Imskir a name or descriptor? I think it's the name. I think Iron-Eater is the descriptor. I might just start calling this card Iron-Eater. That's kind of flavorful and better. How good is Reckless card? Did you watch the last game? It's good. It's a good card. Very powerful. I dislike Jar against Yawgmoth. They usually have Might, so Jar doesn't do much. Well, they have Force of Vigor and Besage you usually. Sometimes they have Outland Liberator. It's not always. Usually Might now instead. So oof. Although oof, I guess doesn't care. So I can go turn 1 Needle or Bridge, or Needle name Yogg potentially into Ornithopter Bridge cast Familiar to turn 3 Kappa Cannoneer. I think Wizards is pretty inconsistent for like where commas in the name of legendary creatures. Okay, sell me on Force of Negation. Everyone is playing it. You like 0 mana counter spells that help you stop combo decks not fast enough to race? Try Force of Negation today. You got plenty of blue cards to put Force of Negation in your deck like we do. Try. Certainly playing against. Playing it. Comes in a lot. Comes in a lot. You like 0 mana counter spells? Affinity gamer? You like countering Meltdown sometimes? If not, maybe it's not for you. Okay, so do I hold up Rebuke next? I think I play Familiar next turn. This way I can Kappa next turn, which is your best way to beat the oof usually. Maybe we'll cast this game. I'm playing Remand, I'm just old. Dude, old people can play Force of Negation. You're just wrong, you know. Just wrong. Remand is, you know, just not that good. It's kind of surprising how good this hand is versus Oof. Yeah, Oof has been pretty beatable with this kind of stuff. Like, our mono blue Urza build has been pretty good against it too. I heard an old man outside go, "Hey, get back here, Shadow." So Lucy may start barking if dog is running free here. All right, cord for 3 or cord for 2. There's the Outland Liberator. Shout out Welding Jar. They can outlandly liberate my Kappa Cannoneer. I guess that's what's happening now. Yeah. Okay, so my Imskir costs 4 mana right now. I only have 2 because of this. Now it costs 3. I still only have 2. Rebuke also doesn't counter that much off the top at this point, but what can you do? We'll attack for 2. They're out of cards in their hand. See if they have another Surveil land or if they just get Arbor. They do Surveil. And there goes the deck. Lucy! Uncounterable Cauldron. Brutal top deck. I am going to Atlanta today, yeah. They didn't play around my Imskir. Oh, they can't activate it because of the oof. Okay, woo, woo, woo. I was so worried about the Liberator. Okay, cool. Not so bad then. You've got a Needle on Yawgmoth still. Not looking so bad. Got our Refurbished Familiar. No Atlanta stream. I'm streaming the day I go to Atlanta. Is this not enough for you? I did a 24-hour stream this week. I'm sorry, I'm not Young Dingo. I'm glad you want more, though. I'm glad you want more content. I'm only one guy. For now. Oof can't be right in this format. It's funny to say oof can't be right in the Green Sun Mox Opal format. Okay, they reveal Yawgmoth, Hapatra, Green Sun. Does oof turns off artifact lands? No, you can still tap them to improvise. We did that this game. I'm glad you want more content. That's great. I'm on vacation though at these tournaments. I just try to be like I just go hang out with my friends, play these tournaments. If they attack with oof, do I trade? It kind of depends on what they do with this rumble. Like if they put Besage in their hand, then they want me to kill this so that they can Besage the needle, or is there Besage the? Well, I guess they don't need to Besage needle, do they? So they can just activate the cauldron on the Yawg. Over under how many games it takes to die to Imskir trigger? Well, we just don't cast it if it kills us, right? They did pick the Besage. Seems like kind of the only choice there. Yeah, I'm playing just stock Dimir. I was advised that it was the best choice, and I agree with that. And I had some other kind of juicier, spicy options that I didn't really have the time to play test because I was doing the whole Cube for Charity into 24-hour stream and decided to just pick the boring best deck. And I'm just going to outplay some standard gamers, or I'm going to enjoy my weekend and revisit the Atlanta Aquarium, which I'm actually going to try. I'm going to try to do that no matter what. Revisit the Atlanta Aquarium. I think it's the best in the country. My hot take is Esper Pixie's gonna smoke everyone. Yeah, I almost played Esper Pixies, and then I actually did play test that a little bit, and I got Obstinate Baloth a lot, and I felt like the mana was quite tough, but yep, that deck is sick. Better than Monterey? I've not been to Monterey, although where is Monterey? Sounds Canadian. I've not been to the Omaha Zoo. I've only been to Omaha for one GP back in the day. Oh, it's in California. I've only been to California once. Well, we got double rebuke up. We get to draw another card off this familiar. I guess we can't take this hit from I guess you can chop the halfling with the Memnite. It's very funny that we do not want this oof off the field in our affinity deck. Just you can keep it with your you can keep your chump attack collector oof. I'm probably gonna be pretty bad against it. I don't know. I ordered also a bunch of cards for it too. I could even pivot. Okay, what are we doing here? We're on the play. New matchup, new me. New matchup, new me. Well, I didn't have the mana to activate Imskir. Our submission's already closed. I guess I don't know what time the I thought it was at some like this afternoon. I have submitted already. I'd be scared to play Dimir because everyone's just gonna be ready for it. I don't know. It's like I mean, I played a lot of standard. Like I don't think you could be that ready for it. It's like being ready for Mardu energy or being ready for energy in like class. Not to this extent, but the deck is all just like card advantage and removal. It's like not the easiest deck to just be good against. How main deck Spellbomb felt? I mean, we're still in a Faithless Looting format. I think it's good to have. Okay, Rumble. Talisman, Sanctum, Temple, Emrakul. So definitely not a good thing to be this slow. We'll get to speed up here some. They did choose a Temple. Another Sprawl. No, I can't sack to draw. I need this in play. Kind of tough to draw like expensive card into expensive card with this mulligan. I like Ghost Vacuum in my most times my Affinity deck because it stays in the field. Vacuum's good. You can play Vacuum. I think we have a Vacuum in mono blue. Or maybe I think we have Lantern because we're an Emery deck. I want to cycle it. The opinions on Ghost Vacuum are still like just so all over the place from everybody, it seems. Some people are like, why would you play Ghost Vacuum over the old cards? And some people are like, why would you ever play the old cards or anything over Ghost Vacuum? And I think that there's some nuance to it, but it doesn't seem like there's a big degree of like people being on the same page about this kind of stuff. Okay, so I have 5 artifacts, which is not the best with my hand. But we got a lot of good top decks. So I guess I do sack this because of Emrakul. Then maybe we hit a land. Not a land, but an unblockable Kappa Cannoneer is a good Kappa Cannoneer. Also, no more targets for sowing Mycospawn. Hello, old friend. Okay, we're gonna really need to cast another Kappa Cannoneer this turn, I guess. Ideally, also attacking with this one. That'll do, I guess. Vacuum versus others really does feel like it's about what the deck you're targeting them with is doing. Guess I've also miscounted too. Maybe we should just play Thought Monitor. All right, game two. An awkward mulligan. So we got the Shadowspear. The Nihil Spellbomb against Emrakul is like kind of okay. I've been seeing some Force of Vigors out of them, so let's bring in the Welding Jars. Like just being able to slow Emrakul down a turn is pretty good. I think we just lead on Rebuke instead of any Force of Negations in this matchup. You could play some Force of Negations though. Can probably afford to cut a 0-drop because I brought in the jars. Well, Thought Monitor costs 2 mana there, and then we'd need to draw another card to another blue source to cast Kappa after that. I do not recommend bringing in Damping Sphere against non-Tron Eldrazi and potentially not even Tron Eldrazi, but definitely not these builds. It's just like you just time walk yourself to like slow. It's like you take a turn off to slow them down by a turn is usually how it feels, which just isn't worth it. It's just like it's just almost card disadvantage if you think about it, and also like it affects you too. It's like you take the turn off to cast it, and you slow them down by about a turn, but you've also done that to yourself, and then you can't multi-spell in your affinity deck very well anymore. Needle is definitely a sideboard card now. It's mostly just good against like the Yogg decks. I mean, there's probably some more applications, but this is a cool hand. But like the ring is banned. You don't need to main deck Needle anymore. So they're on a mold to 6. I'm gonna go Bridge, Opal, Memnite, Familiar on turn 1. I was just considering a main deck for Belcher. Yeah, did Belcher get like popular over the last couple days? Because like Belcher is very good and like certainly deserves to see play in my opinion. I think that Belcher is one of the most underplayed decks in Modern at the moment, but my impression also was that it isn't seeing that much play. So just sideboard it for Belcher, Yawgmoth. Like Needle main deck was really like because like so many decks played the ring, it was like kind of a nice incidental thing that you could do, but certainly not mandatory. I mean, okay, they know I have Metallic Rebuke, but what are they gonna do? Just not play any spells? Just not gonna cast your Rumble? Not gonna cast your Talisman? Yeah, Damping Sphere does not turn off Sprawl. It is very weird. Yeah, I didn't think so. Kind of feel like Belcher's a deck that will see heavier tournament play. Yeah, I agree. Would you be willing to try Leyline Axe in a shell like this? Not in a shell like this so much. I mean, for me to play Leyline Axe, I would need to have Metalwork Colossus in my deck. Probably, or I would really want to. And I have been looking at the Metalwork Colossus builds again. I think I just play this actually. If I cast Kappa Cannoneer, I can't also hold up Rebuke, and this seems a bit more powerful. Drawing 4 cards? Oh, sorry, only 3 cards. Yeah. All right, game 3. It's looking good in Hammer, Axe. Well, I've heard conflicting reports, and of course, right, like you're gonna hear conflicting reports on cards like Hammer that are just very high variance cards. If I always drew if I only ever drew them in my opening hand, I would certainly think the card is great. I don't understand why you're main decking Metallic. Just sideboard it and bring it in against decks with spells. I was thinking the same thing too, like most Affinity players, and then the more I play, the more I realize most decks are playing spells in this metagame right now. Yeah, temporary setup downstairs. It was partially for the 24-hour stream. I'm just going to take the opportunity to change my setup upstairs, move to the cooler room for the summer, and change some things, paint the walls. I think the upstairs room will have a better background too. Okay, so we can go bridge into. The only way we can familiar is if we don't play Urza Saga turn 2, which I don't really like. I think we mulligan. Did I consider Blood Fountain? I think that card's bad. Just not playable. I could be wrong, but yeah, just my evaluation is that Blood Fountain is not a playable card. Yeah, they're at a mold of 6. They reveal a Devourer. If you disagree and you think Blood Fountain's good, I'd love to hear that. I don't play any instruments, but these are Esters. I always had Metallic on the side, so game 1 you can be as fast as possible, and 2 and 3 you can be prepared for sideboard cards. I know that is every Affinity player's mindset. In practice, that doesn't work because your Affinity deck is just actually slower than a lot of decks in the format. So like you need the Rebukes game 1. You know what I mean? Bloodhound's playable Salvage Titan. I do like Salvage Titan, kinda. Would the Enigma Jewel be good in a Ishkmir deck? What is this other word? Ooh, Saga. Is this like a commander thing? Like you can have more effective sideboard cards like Consign, Force of Negation, Spell Pierce at times. Blood Fountain just makes a bunch of artifacts and lets you loot later. I agree that's just what it does. That's all it do. Alright, they grab an Eldrazi Temple here. Where's the Crab? Crab's just not that good, I think. Crab is sweet, and we all want it to be good. Blood Fountain is Dark Ritual for Improvise. Yeah, but like I don't feel like Improvise and Affinity is particularly tough at the moment. Is this new stream setup permanent? Well, nothing in life is permanent, but it's going to be, just until I get the upstairs redone. Enables fast Cannoneers, I guess, but so does the rest of the deck, and Fountain seems kind of bad. But I appreciate the feedback. They choose Null Drifter. Four cards in their hand. They have 3 types in their yards. Emrakul costs 10. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm getting a package. It's either that or a solicitor. Give me a second. What's up? It's me, your friend Spire of Spike. So I was going to make a Saga token and haste it. Now I think I'm still gonna haste my Kappa Cannoneer. We're gonna go get Lavaspur Boots. Cast this for 2. Oh wait, I thought that cost 2. I mean, it's good that it didn't. All right, so probably gonna chomp. Hopefully this is good enough. I think the Fountain could take the place of something like Thoughtcast as something that gives you a mix of Improvise. That's the draws you need. Yeah, I mean, Thoughtcast has just been so good. It's just like it's on so fast, and it's like a better top deck, and also it's kind of a blood fountain too if it draws you cheap artifacts. But that is good feedback. Draw 5 with Imskir. What? I cannot pronounce this card. Okay, so they can get rid of my Thought Monitor. Not the scariest. Okay, so now this is just gonna draw 4. You gotta play the fountain and judge. I've played the fountain and I thought it was awful, but this was before Opal was legal again, so I'm mostly I guess asking, has that changed? And for to me it still seems like not something I'd like to play. This is 6/6, huh? I do think Refurbished Familiar is really good. Iron-Eater, Iron-Eater, Iron-Eater. Nice. 2 and 1. Got a full house. Fortunately not playing Balatro. Mediocre, mid-minus, bad plus, 6-card hand. Although if we just have double Urza Saga against Dimir game 1 and they don't have Harbinger, that'll be pretty good. Dimir was so popular during the 24-hour stream. I feel like we played against it like for half of our matches. Is the fling on Iron-Eater mostly flavor text or has it come off? Yeah, with Thought Monitor and ooh, baby. Every time I see Basim, I'm so jealous. Yeah, it comes up. Baby, come back. I want to be Basimming all the time. I play Familiar. My Pauper Affinity deck is good there with mirrored artifact lands. Never thought I'd see Modern. Yeah, I mean, just 1 mana, 2/1, you discard a card that's an artifact. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. Just you wait until I get to turn 4. You're going to be so sorry you stole Basim from me. I'm glad people are playing this card. So not sure what their build looks like. I don't know if they're an Opal deck or... Okay, if they're playing Spellbomb, they have Saga, which is interesting. Ever tried Basim with like Lost Jite? I've not played Lost Jite with Basim. I do kind of keep forgetting to put Lost Jite in some decks that could see some play in. How much Twin did you actually play in 24-hour stream? Not a ton. Like maybe 3 leagues. Maybe more than any other deck. I actually had a Lost Twin deck. I didn't save the file and I couldn't find it during the stream. And I deleted all my decks. It was like mono red, like Hayashi style. I guess it wouldn't have been too tough to rebuild. Okay, so 3 artifacts, 4, 5, 6. I think I'd just get the Opal. Did I design Basim or just consult? Just consult. I don't really remember Basim being like having this text. I can't remember if I don't know if they changed it. I can't really remember. It's been a long time. I just like the card a lot. They changed a lot of cards from Assassin's Creed that like the equipment that Cassandra, is that her name? The equipment that she gets, it used to cost 2 mana, and I was really excited about that card when it cost 2 mana. And then they nerfed it to 3, which is probably good. And then the Skull Eye, the Skull Island, that card used to cost 2 mana but didn't tap for mana. And they nerfed it to 4, but gave it the ability to tap for mana, which I think is also a good change. Oh. Sim Breach, you played this deck. Universes beyond equals bad sets. Well, this is certainly a way you could live your life, and a lot of people seem to be having this attitude, which is fine. But you know, there are good Universe Beyond sets, there are bad Universe Beyond sets. There are good Modern Horizon sets. There are bad Modern Horizon sets. There are good standard sets. There are bad standard sets. I think you just gotta evaluate each set individually. That's my recommendation. But if you want to get a lot of freaking upvotes, some updoots, does anybody else think the Universes Beyond are kind of cringe? Dude, you get so many freaking upvotes saying something like that. How good is Imskir? Well, why don't I cast it and you can decide. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll just cast it, draw 3. And then I need Shadows to decide, how good is this? I don't know if they play bolts. I guess we'll find out. I don't feel like we need to play so scared of something like that. Let's not attack here, so it's a bit easier for us to hold up the Rebuke. I think there were no good Horizon sets. I think Modern Horizons 2 was my favorite set ever. It's okay, it's very subjective, but I think Image 1 and 3 were bad. Image 2 was great. Not perfect, not perfect. I know a lot of people did not like Modern Horizons 2. I thought it was based and cool, though. Did they have another Breach? Grinding Station. Yeah, Bloomburrow was sick too. You had 2 mana available, huh? Okay. And then the 3rd Breach. Game 2. Don't know how many Welding Jars I want. I'm sorry, Tormod's Crypts. Maybe also Welding Jar. I thought you like Image 3. I like Image 2. I don't know where you... I mean, you've maybe not been here because Image 3 was so bad. But no, Image 3 was awful. It's maybe good now that they finally... Like, a big part of it being awful was they took 6 months to, like, fix the format. But no, like, it's been bad. Post unbans and, like, recent shakeup, it's been very good, I think. But we had, like, a 6-month... off period, largely thanks to MH3. Okay, let's try this. Sphere is good against them. I think I just want Crypt as my anti-breach card, although it's not actually super good if they have Grinding Station. Maybe I should bring a Needle for Grinding Station, but I'm a bit scared of the value breaches also. It's a cool hand. I'm a modern purist. I dislike Universe Beyond and modern sets, and they destabilize the format as much as Fire Design sets did. I don't think they do it as much. I mean, it's a conversation for sure. Like the Fire Design era, I think, was much worse than the Horizon sets. This feels like a very, very lukewarm take to me, but I do know, chatters, that a lot of you and a lot of modern players don't like modern Horizon sets in general. I didn't like 1 and 3. I like 2. I typically have the attitude that there are good sets and there are bad sets of all kinds. Just, and you can do modern Horizons well, and you can do it poorly. I think we've seen examples of both. Dude, the Fire Design era, like it's this is less of like a compliment to Horizon sets, though, more a criticism of like Fire Design era was like unbelievably bad. Every single standard set broke the modern format. You know what I mean? Like every single one, with I think no exceptions. What is Fire Design? So Fire Design, what it stands for. Sorry, get some water. Okay, so Fire Design was an era of explicit power creep. A design philosophy Wizards enacted of explicit power creep that there was an acronym: fun, invitable, replayable, and exciting. That was the acronym to sell the player base on the cards. In actuality, this was just to keep Magic interesting. We're going to make the power level of cards higher. This era was War of the Spark to Kaldheim. Arguably, Kaldheim wasn't, but they just made a bunch of mistakes anyways. But I usually like to say War of the Spark to Kaldheim. So, you have War of the Spark with, like, Teferi, Narset, Karn. This is maybe the least of it. You did have to get Mike and Sith Lattice banned because of Karn, so, like, it led to a ban into Throne of Eldraine, which had 3 banned cards in Modern, lots of really, really ridiculous cards in Modern, into Ikora with the Companions, into Theros with Uro and Underworld Breach, into Zendikar, which had the MDFCs, which led to Belcher and Oops All Spells being ridiculous turn 1 kill decks with Simian Spirit Guide. You had... Also, there was a core set with Field of the Dead. I can't remember the number of that core set. Ooh, there's a Thassa's Oracle. Uro, Oka, Once Upon a Time, and Mystic Sanctuary are the 3 banned cards from Eldraine. I think Theros was before Ikora. I thought it was the other way around, but could be misremembering. Into... I'm forgetting a set, maybe. We had Kaldheim with Valky, Tipple's Trickery. I'm forgetting a broken set. M20 was Field. Core 19 and 2020 are both good. The Field of the Dead Veil of Summer set was good. I don't know. Maybe, huh? Did I make another Saga token? But anyways, like, I think that this was the worst era of Magic, and I think all of that was worse than Modern Horizons 1 and 3, if you kind of combine all of those things. Yeah, we talked about Eldraine. Yeah, Eldraine was the worst by far. Yeah, I think we load a mana here, get a Mox Opal. Cast a Thought Monitor. Yeah, I guess we just refurbish Familiar this turn, actually, so we can hold up Rebuke. Isn't Veil of Summer perfectly fine? No, that card is really poorly designed. It isn't bannable in Modern. It was banned in Pioneer. I think Veil of Summer is a miserable card. Yeah. And you said the ring was too weak. Hadn't you said the ring was too weak? Modern would have been a better place. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, huh? Yeah, they just banned another card from the Korra. Oh yeah, Korra has 3 banned cards now. I just realized. Yeah, they had to redo they had to errata the mechanic and then ban 3 cards. So Yeah, maybe that one's worse. AB team. But yeah, but like, they at the very least, if we're talking about that set specifically, I think I'm gonna rebuke this. Like, they had Field of the Dead in the core set. Saying that set was good I think it's silly with them just having like a really broken bannable card in the set. Yeah, they just banned Gigantha. So Gigantha, Yorion, and Luris, 3 banned cards from Ikora. And it's like, this is like 1 or 2 sets after Throne of Eldraine, which also has 3 banned cards in Modern. Like, there are so for each Modern Horizon set has had 2 cards banned from it, which is, not good and a problem, and I didn't like MH1 or MH3. Yeah, I do think. I mean, Throne was also a 6 set. Like, it was really fun. Throne has 4 banned cards, not in Modern. It's just Mystic Sanctuary, Once Upon a Time, and Oko. Unless something else got banned. No, I don't think so. Yeah, yeah. Also, Grief really caught like this random stray that made no sense at the time. Absolutely, like the Grief ban was just so random. Yeah, Uros Theros. And this is also like, when I say I like Modern Horizons 2 and everyone's like, "Oh, you like Modern Horizons 2?" It's because Modern Horizons 2 stabilized Modern after a 2-year period of War of the Spark to Kaldheim of every single set there was a broken card that needs to be banned. The format at the time absolutely needed something like um hold on, let me think about this. They've lost their Thassa's Oracle, so I'm not even sure if we care that much about this. But it needed something to stabilize the format. Was 8-tine deck too. We 3-2 to the league into I think 1-2 or 0-2, and it was okay. The grief ban was to increase fun, not balance. Yes, the grief ban was to increase fun, not balance. But if you wanted to increase fun, why not ban the ring? Like that was what was always so confusing to me. Like the ring was like certainly the card that was contributing to like less fun games at the time. What was my least favorite time playing Modern? Post MH3. Like the Oko into energy metagame was the worst. Like, and it's that. Yeah, and now it's very good. I think it's like great now, but it was really bad for a long time. Ring was still selling packs. I think that's not true. At the very least, anyone who was buying packs of Lord of the Rings to open a ring, they were playing Commander for sure, not EDH or not Modern. Yeah, Nadu into Energy was I think the worst era Modern has ever had. Okay, successfully bounced this. So now we get to F6. I've exiled a Thassa's Oracle, so I don't know what their plan is. Let's find out. They may not realize it. The One Ring is saying bundles. Was in each Lord of the Rings bundle? Okay. Maybe. But yeah, I think anybody buying packs of Lord of the Rings, like so few of them are doing it for Modern, not Commander. Modern players don't buy packs, which is the problem. If we bought booster packs, maybe we'd be the more popular format. Which card is more susceptible to get banned this year, Bowmaster or Frog? At the moment, I think neither is likely to get banned. Frog is definitely the better card. Orcish Bowmaster feels like now that Ring is banned, Bowmaster feels just kind of fine, like a good card in the metagame, but not like Bowmasters has always just kind of been a tool to keep the Ring in check, more so than it just being too good. They may also have Grape Shot. Yeah, maybe, but I think it would be weird if they played both. But like, we'll find out, I guess. Frog is the better card. I think we're pretty far away from needing to see anything banned in Modern at the moment. The Frog decks are pretty good. People need to play Fatal Push more often. Yeah. Nadu Energy is the worst modern it's ever been. Is a bold statement as someone that played during Eldrazi Winter. I think you're right. Yeah, I think it was worse than Eldrazi Winter. Like, it was worse than Cascade Valkyrie, but also because Cascade Valkyrie got fixed in a week. And this was also like with Cascade Valkyrie that got fixed in a week. With Looting Hogak, they fixed it much faster than this. Is so frustrating. At least, and also with Hogak, like you play 4 ley lines and you beat them, sometimes, but like it's just much harder to like just turn your brain off and sideboard for those matchups. I think I kind of think that they just don't realize I already exiled Oracle. No, there's a Jace Wielder of Mysteries. No, there's a Jace Wielder of Mysteries. Okay. GG. If I draw a 0-drop, I can turn 1 Kappa Cannoneer. Don't you thought sees me? Am I going to double block the Ocelot Pride? How could I? No way. Well, maybe. Yeah, I guess I could just make a Saga token next turn instead of casting Kappa Cannoneer. Okay, but now I need to Rebuke. Kappa Cannoneer is just too important in this matchup. Yeah, I agree that Standard's fun. I had fun. It was good that there was another good format that existed for us to switch to while Modern was so bad, and I'm glad I played Standard and that because I have this tournament coming up, and I don't feel completely unprepared, and I'm looking forward to the Standard tournament in Atlanta this weekend. Maybe I do just want to make 2 Saga tokens because I can go Saga token this turn and to get Shadowspear, play Citadel, Opal, equip. It's just so it's better to put the Shadowspear on the Kappa Cannoneer usually. But this does mean I can't make a Saga token next turn and equip the Spear. So it feels like I'm leaving a lot of value on the table. Thoughts on why there's no Pioneer events this year? I don't know. Like it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense. There have been there. It also didn't make sense that there was like a really disproportional amount of modern tournaments that existed that they had before. So Wizards continues to do stuff at random. It's like, what can you say? Have I seen the turn 4 Omniscience combo in Standard? Yeah. I'm assuming you're talking about with Kona. You could also do Reenact the Crime. I tried that. I locked my deck list in. I'm playing a boring Dimir. All right, you get to make a couple cats. You get to gain a couple life. Oh, they only get to make 1 cat there. Well, that's good news. Okay, so maybe I want a Kappa Cannoneer and Shadowspear. This is versus second construct plus equip. That's just second construct. We just don't have much gas left in the tank, Still got to be Shadowspear. But now I can play the Kappa. Save the Citadel in hand to trigger the Cannoneer next turn. Dade, happy 4 years. Let's go. Glad you're still liking the stream after all this time. 2 cards in their hand over there. The Omni combo is Abuelo's Awakening. Wait, Abuelo's Awakening is legal? Invasioning. Oh, wait, what is the invasion do? I guess I haven't seen this one. Dude, I've always wanted to do Abuelo's Awakening. Omniscience. I forgot that the card's legal. Damn it. Now I wish I was playing that this weekend. Next time, I guess. Wake up, Abuelo. So yeah, definitely want to go on the Cannoneer so they can't block and flip the Johnny. Gonna be a tough game. Buenos dias, abuelo. ¿Tienes una omniscience por la combo? I think I'm gonna try bringing in the needle this time. Yeah, let's just do a needle in. Where's the jacket from? This was, I think I got it at MagicCon Minneapolis. It's got like a dragon on the back. Invasion of Archivos. Enter, search your library, graveyard. Ooh, cool, man. Wish I had seen that deck. Maybe it's for the best I didn't. Okay, let's keep this one. Didn't you have to wear it on the plane? I'm not sure what this means. Mox Opal online. Metallically rebuked. The jacket, I remember a story about getting the jacket getting home. I had to wear 2 coats. You know, that might have been something that happened and I just can't really recall. Funny how Nightmare disappeared overnight. Yeah. Still kind of want Nightmare to be good. Urza Saga, the 3-for-1 machine. I think because we have Rebuke in our hand, we should go ahead and make another token. I kind of want to get Welding Jar. Let's get the Nihil Spellbomb. They could pretty easily have a Flage in their hand. Rebuke, rebuke, you rebuke. Let's go. Game 3. Looking back at 2024, what were some of my favorite bruise shells? This is a really good question. I tried to think about this myself, and it's tough. Like we can look now. In 2024, which I guess we're still. I don't think the new folder's been made yet on Moxfield, so we can't look. But I had something along the lines of like. I think I had more decks made than days in the year, and it's tough. There's just I just built too many decks. Yeah, maybe Cascade Beans. Maybe it'll be better if y'all said what your favorite decks were, because I get overwhelmed. I get a little too overwhelmed. Well, pun it. Oh, sorry. I thought this was Inquisition for some reason. Never mind. Yeah, but I have 2,138 decks in the Mox field, and I think about 400 of them, if not more than that, were made last year. So it's just so much. Too many. Who asked for this? I guess y'all did. Missed the Enchantress match. It looked decent. It looked decent, yeah. We also played Green Sun Enchantress ourselves in like the Leyline Scion shell, which I like. I would recommend that one too. Yeah, I have Jeskai Energy with Mockingbird queued up, although I don't know if we'll ever get around to it because people hate to watch Energy. Hey Zach, good to see you. Happy New Year. Baited to buy Lookout Never Forget. No, Lookout is good again, dude. The Free Strider Lookout deck with Green Sun is back. We're so back. We've never been more back, dude. You thought seized me. You thought I wouldn't draw the Rebuke. You thought I would get got by a Wrath Disguise. Also, Wrath and Mardu's kind of cool. Yeah, the Archery Story Circle deck was cool. I keep trying to update it, and it turns out losing the ring was a problem for that one. That was a problem. Is Lookout bad now that ring is banned? No, that we played Lookout with Green Sun Zenith, and it was that I like that deck a lot. I would recommend that deck a lot. I might play it at the Hunter Burton or my next at a tournament soon. Do you prep your list for serious paper events off stream, or do you play whatever you think is good? I try to. I don't always have the time. Like for this standard event I'm playing this weekend, I have not played the deck I'm playing, which is just the stock best deck of the format. But I try to do a lot of off-stream prep. This was particularly tough because of the Cube for Charity last weekend and then the 24-hour stream this week, so didn't have time. But yeah, usually I do my off-stream prep for tournaments. To some extent, it's kind of like my career in Magic the Gathering is building decks for people to use and play, and like this is my contribution to the community.